Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hobby Night Gaming. I am the Chaos Cultist, and today, in case we need her, we have Angela.
Hello, everybody. It is lovely to be here.
Yes, without further ado, let's begin. September 21st, Planetary Calendar 209. Despite last-minute reinforcements for the Solar Federation from their headquarters on Earth, the battle above Lunar is a victory for the joint Martian and Jovian forces. This would be the final battle of the Solar War. Having lost their last stronghold on Lunar, the Solar Federation would agree to a ceasefire and sign an armistice to end hostilities. An uneasy peace fills the solar system. With the conflict between the Solar Federation and the Martian-Jovian alliance concluded, the GQuuuux and her crew soon returned to the Europa colony near Jupiter. April 19th, Planetary Calendar 214. The reduced need for pilots away from the delicate space station Earth and Mars saw Ensign Chaos reassigned to security detail aboard various Jovian ships. He is eventually promoted to lieutenant. 4 years have passed since the battle above Lunar. The Jovian colony fleet, fearing fresh aggression from Earth, has increased patrols near its colonies after picking up unusual signals from further out in the solar system. Hold on. The patrol ship JFS Gundam is dispatched to support the JFS O'Brien in its investigation of these signals. And we find ourselves in Jovian space aboard the Jovian patrol ship JFS Gundam. Oh my god, there's actual gameplay in this. As the rumble of the Gundam's engines roaring to life reverberates through the ship, you clench your fists. It's been 4 years, and to this day, the sensation of tremors, whether they're ship engines, docking clamps, or weapons drills, still ties your stomach into knots. A bad trait for a ship's security officer. You shake your head and exhale slowly, taking a moment before stowing the last of your possessions and pushing the drawer closed. You feel the click as it locks into place, and the exterior plastic paneling sits completely flush with its surroundings. Stepping back, you look around the room. You take another deep breath and hold it for a moment. Although this was far from your first posting as a security officer, you always felt the same sense of trepidation, if not anxiety. As similar as all the ships were, they all came with their own unique crews and personalities, and with those came unique problems. Breathing out, you take a look around the room, taking stock of your surroundings. Alright, select a look to examine the surroundings, okay. Okay, and it does a highlight thing, so I'm not going to be doing full-blown pixel hunting in every room.
That's good.
It's just a normal storage unit. I do travel light, so mine only has clothes in it. And we can look at our bed. A standard cruise bunk. Once you've slept in one, you've slept in them all. Although this one is one of the nicer ones I've been assigned to. The wall panel can be removed by jimmying it with a thin object, and crew members often stash contraband there. Looks like this one's not been touched though. This terminal to the left lets me access the ship's computer. It's got a clock, a word processor, and even, ladies and gentlemen, a calendar. My god. I can also access records and my orders from here, but for anything else I need to access the core, which is limited to those in operations or command. And it only weighs 75 kilograms. And the last thing to look at in the room is the door. It is a standard door with an electronic lock and mechanical bolting system. The only way in or out, unless you plan on getting creative with maintenance tunnels. Okay, I think that's all we can look at. Oh, okay, no, I don't want to go there. Okay, he wants me to use use now. There's nothing in here right now that I need, just my uniforms and some toiletries. If we click use the bed, I've only just boarded. It's still the middle of the day based on Jovian Standard Time, of course. JoST.
And naps are for the week.
And we will, of course, check our email. Oh, it looks like I've been instructed to report to the bridge to meet the captain. I haven't met anyone yet since my transport to the spaceport ran late, and I just about made it on board before launch. Alright, that will be move. Can I use the door? No. If I hit move, it just gives me every option that would be available through use. Okay. You step out into the empty corridor, and the door to your quarters gently hisses shut behind you. Its keypad gives a short series of beeps, and you hear the lock engage. The dull thrum of the ship's systems is barely audible, but otherwise you are stood in total silence. The air is cooler outside of your quarters, and the corridor has a sterile lack of aroma. This has been the same on every ship you've been stationed on, and at this point it doesn't surprise you. Okay, so this is a Swift-class patrol vessel, which means if I leave this quarter block, I'll be in the foreside thoroughfare. If I go right towards the aft, I'll arrive in the central hub, and then I think I'll get where I need to go. Looking around, let's see, we got H. Cruz, Hans Cruz. We got Haru Rumney, don't know who that is. We have Dalton Grange. No idea who that is either. And this one I can't see at all. Is Dylan Dees.
Dylan D's nuts!
Thank you, Angela, for that. This is supposed to be a serious game, and look what you've done.
Listen, that's what I'm here for.
Okay, I'm not going to go barging into anyone's room quite yet. Although I can't use anything other than that, so... yeah, he's not going to let me go anywhere else. So, go to the thoroughfare. You leave the crew block behind you and find yourself in a much larger corridor that stretches off to your left and with multiple smaller corridors leading from it. Okay, so this is not a Corvette, this is a larger ship. To your right, the corridor leads to a large plaza-like space. A very faint breeze coming from your left ruffles your hair and chills you slightly, and you hear the sounds of human activity. From the right, you can hear the hum of the ship's engines more clearly now, as well as the occasional low, quiet, whirring sound. Alright, looks like I was right. This portion of the thoroughfare will let me access both sets of the crew quarters, the mess hall, the hangar, and the central hub. I don't know why I'm narrating all this to myself. But from here, I can access the rest of the ship's areas. I should hurry up to meet the captain before I look around anywhere else.
Maybe that's you internal dialoguing to yourself.
I mean, it probably is. Okay. So... yeah, use-wise, we have the two doors that were highlighted. I can't look at the low-gravity sign.
That's such a shame, because it's such a good sign.
I know, it's a very XKCD sign.
It really is.
Alright, so I think we're just going to go all the... well, I'm pretty sure all the way down at the end is where we want to go. As you enter the central hub, you hear a low whirring sound and the engines grow louder. You can see the readouts above one of the elevators change, letting you know someone is using it to travel to another part of the ship. Looking around, you see the entrance to both the fore and aft side thoroughfares, as well as the corridors to the airlocks. These elevators will take me to the bridge where the captain will be. I shouldn't waste any more time. I haven't wasted any more time, and I haven't even looked around anywhere.
It's true. I definitely read the bridge elevator as Borg at first. I switched to where the D and the R was, and I read the D as an O.
Most of the ship can be accessed from the two thoroughfares, but some areas like the bridge are situated on different levels, so need an elevator. There should be access for maintenance crawlways around here somewhere, but those are usually only for emergencies, and I'm sure will never come up.
Definitely.
Knowing that I need to report to the captain, who at this point of the ship's journey should be stationed on the bridge, I make my way towards the elevators and press the call button. And I will now switch back to second person. You step back and watch the indicators above each elevator, waiting for one to arrive. As you wait, your mind begins to wander, and you're caught unaware as you feel something suddenly jab into your back and a voice behind you declares,
Hands in the air. Identify yourself.
Your posture stiffens as you snap back to reality, caught off guard by the voice behind you. Thoughts race through your mind as you try to figure out what's going on. Could there already be another security detail on board? That shouldn't be possible. As far as you knew, you were the only one. Unless...
I said hands in the air, punk!
You tentatively raise your hands, palms flat and facing upwards, as whatever has been thrusting into the small of your back is removed slowly, and you hear the person behind you take a step backwards. You exhale and begin to turn around. Lieutenant Chaos, Security Detail ID SO254JFSG. I'm on my way to meet the captain to... Where you've been expecting a gruff crew member, instead you're met with a bright and cheery officer, I had a suspicion, waving a pen around with a large smile on her face. You're taken aback for a moment, as this isn't just any officer, this is... Cassie? What are you...
Jack, I've missed you so much! You big doofus! You should have seen your face when you turned around. You were all... I love that face you make when you think you're in trouble. It's like you think playing the big soldier will get you out of trouble. It's so cute.
Lieutenant Commander Cassandra Quinn. You should have known. Really. She's always been one for bad jokes and stupid pranks as long as you've known her. Her less than professional attitude and penchant for irresponsibility is the reason why, despite her talents, she's not commanding a ship of her own.
How dare you? So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did I get you? Totally thought you were being busted, right?
Can you reread that line and actually read it correctly, please?
Yes, I can. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good did I get you? You totally thought you were being busted, right?
But, if you're being honest, her playful nature is what attracted you to her in the first place. You've been dating for nearly 2 years now, but a lot of that has been over email or in letters. Your postings have never lined up until now. Cassie? What are you doing here? I thought you were stationed on the Reliant. I mean, you never said you were being transferred. What happened?
Well, the thing about that is, you might say that a disagreement with the head of operations on the Reliant led to a lateral trajectory in my career.
Cassandra, please?
Okay. So maybe when it came time to change the ship's cybersecurity password, I couldn't be bothered to spend all day sitting in the computer core, waiting for it to generate new codes, so I changed all the existing passwords by a single digit.
You place your face in your hands as a dull groan rises from the back of your throat. This is not the first time you've heard a story like this.
And maybe it turns out that when they run the cybersecurity drills, they assume that the enemy have your old passwords, so try to brute force them from those. And maybe that meant the ship was compromised in a 0.5 seconds. But at least they found out that I'd done it in a drill and not in a real engagement, right? I've basically saved the entire ship in advance. I'm surprised you're... Oh, sorry, that's you.
I'm surprised you're still even stationed on a ship. How are you not stuck back in records at Europa right now?
Well, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but if I can't trust you, who can I trust? It turns out this mission was organized at a really short notice, and the Gundam was the only ship available. The problem was that they'd been having issues with the crew, so they had to transfer some in short notice. Lucky for me that I'd so recently been made available.
That's weird. I'd only just been stationed on the Duke, so I shouldn't have been free to be transferred. Huh.
Okay, you figured it out. I may have used one of my contacts from the academy who works in resources to transfer you over here.
I'm pretty sure you know every regulation you broke by doing that.
Oh, what was I supposed to do? Get stationed to some tiny ship heading out to the middle of nowhere with no one I know on the crew? We haven't seen each other in months. Aren't you glad to see me?
Of course I'm glad to see you. I've missed you too, you know. It's been a long time.
You don't become part of the Reliance Operation Department without some serious talent. I'm not going anywhere.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you said you were on your way to see the captain, right? Have you had a chance to take a look around the ship yet?
No, not yet. I was going to, but you see...
Great! I'll show you around. I've been here a few days, so I basically know this ship like the back of my hand. Where do you want to go first?
So, I was on my way to see the captain. I felt the engine start up, so I know we're launching soon, and I thought I should probably report in as soon as possible.
Oh, don't worry about that. I've already logged you on board, so it's just a formality now.
Yeah, but it's a formality with the captain.
Besides, Captain Bartermuse, oh my god, his name is Bartermuse. Captain Bartermuse isn't exactly a stickler for procedure, so we can check out anywhere you want before we head up there.
Well, alright. In that case...
This is going to be the best tour you've ever been on. By the time it's over, you'll have seen every inch of this ship and met everyone on board. It's been so long since we last saw each other, too. We definitely need to take time to stop by my quarters and get reacquainted.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Aw, yeah.
I can now access every area of the Gundog, including that senior officer. Select the talk button to view the list of who's available to talk to. If you change your mind, okay. You look around the central hub as Cassandra already begins to make her way to the first destination, waving at you to follow. It might be a small ship, you think, but now would be a perfect opportunity to learn its layout and familiarize yourself with where you'll be spending your current duty. Plus, you admit it wouldn't hurt to meet all the crew, better to get to know them sooner rather than later. Okay, so what's over here? If we head that... Oh.
If we head that way, we can get to the armory, the main engine rooms, and the engineering, too.
Okay, so right at the elevators is, like, hard...
Tactical stuff.
Yeah. And then if we look at that...
You need to take these elevators to get to either the bridge or the sick bay. The bridge is at the top of the ship, whilst the sick bay is located on one of the lower decks.
Okay, so both elevators go to both. I thought maybe this was just the bridge elevator and this was just the...
Sick bay elevator?
Yeah, but I think you can take either of them.
Okay, yeah, that does seem what she said. Down that way is the four-side thoroughfare. You've got fire control, the mess hall, and crew quarters.
Okay, so that's more civvy life with the exception of fire control.
Although I guess you know that already. It's also the main way to access the hangar.
The main way? Well, how else would you access the hangar?
How else? From the outside, obviously.
You know, I don't know what else I was expecting you to say. Alright, and then we can use the elevators, we can talk to Cassandra.
You know, it's kind of funny, now that I think about it.
What is?
This area is called the Central Hub, but to be honest, the only place you can get to straight away from here are the airlock, sick bay, and the bridge.
Well, it's right in the middle of the ship, so it connects everything together via the two thoroughfares, right?
Kind of, but if you want to get to engineering to do some mechanical work, you've got a long way to go that way. Then, if you want to do pretty much anything else, you've got to go the other way. The four-side thoroughfare is way more of a hub since you can get to all sorts of places really quickly. Get some snacks from the mess hall to take back to your quarters, easy. If you want a quick soda whilst taking audit in the hangar, you're there and back in no time. They should have made the bridge to the front of the ship. They should move the bridge to the front of the ship.
It sounds to me like you just want a vending machine near the bridge.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. But still, it's a long way to get to the other end of the ship, no matter where they're going from.
Well, how would you solve that?
Oh, maybe change the shape of the ship so the center's really the center. It's space, so you could make it really efficient shape, like a cube or something. It's space, so you could make it a really efficient shape like a cube or something. Oh my god, I didn't read the bridge sign wrong. She does want to be Borg.
A cube? I guess it would be efficient, but I don't think anyone would take a cube-shaped ship very serious.
Okay, is that actually just a joke?
I think they're just
on Star Trek.
Borg, I guess. All right, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and go back to... this is the other thoroughfare. As two of you leave the central hub behind you and travel down the aft side thoroughfare, the hum of the engines continues to grow louder. You'd effectively filtered the noise out in the rest of the ship, but as you got closer to the rear, its volume increased considerably. Are the engines supposed to be that loud?
Are the what?
I said, are the engines supposed to be that loud?
The what? What?
I said...
I heard you the first time. I'm just messing with you. Calm down.
You could have fooled me. I've never been on a ship where the engines were so noticeable. It's supposed to be like that?
Supposed to? No, not really, but the Gundog is a Swift class, a type of patrol ship that's designed for rapid response. They're made to cover large areas of space quickly and offer basic assistance to ships in distress. That, or be the first one on the scene to gather intel and issue warnings if anyone comes too close to Jovian space. Which means design-wise, they're prioritize speed above everything else. I guess that's the best way to sum it all up, is that the Gundog is basically a huge set of engines with a tiny ship strapped to them.
So what, we're on the Defiant?
Yes.
Well, that's reassuring.
Oh, it's fine. It just means that there's no space for systems like motion dampeners or soundproofing. You'll miss it when you leave.
Right. Alright, so we have flashy light. The end of the hall.
That way leads to the engineering block. From there, you can access the engine room, the main computer, and most of the ship's systems. Although, you won't be going anywhere near those systems if the chief has anything to say about it.
You know what? Let's go check out the engineering bay. As the two of you continue through the aft thoroughfare, the thrum of the engine grows louder still. The featureless paneling that has made up the majority of the ship's interior quickly gives way to visible pipes and conduits, and eventually the smooth flooring transitions to grating, revealing more workings underfoot. Finally, the thoroughfare leads into one huge open chamber filled with masses of machinery. Terminal panels set into the side of various apparatus cycles. Terminal panels set into the side of various apparatus cycle through different readings, the light from the screens reflected off ducts and valves. All this equipment is separated by a grid of catwalks and access ladders. Wow, that is a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff is right. This is the central engineering. Pretty much every system aside from the engines themselves and the central computer can be found in this room.
All in one place, isn't that a little risky? Actually, quite literally what I was thinking.
Well, a Swift-class ship relies on an absolutely minimal crew. The Gundog only has 2 engineers.
Damn.
I think they figured it'd be easier on them if everything that was important was kept in one place.
It also makes one targetable location.
It really does. That way, they don't have to run from one end of the ship to the other to get all of their repairs done if something goes wrong.
But didn't we literally just talk about how in the central hub of the ship they have everything kind of spread out?
Yes.
And I thought that was to ensure that if one area got, shot, it wouldn't take everything out.
Yeah.
But now engineering is just like, no, we dumped everything into one basket.
Except for, I guess, the engines themselves and the one computer. Because those are separate, everything's fine.
Huh. Well, you certainly know a lot about ship engineering.
What can I say? I'm a pretty talented individual.
Oh yeah, whilst we're here, you can share some of that knowledge. What's that over there, anyway?
That's the Pholenic Conversion Unit.
You just read the sign. And what's that over there?
Oh, that's the omnifaceted Wayne shaft.
Omnifaceted.
Omnifaceted Wayne shaft.
Uh-huh. And what about that?
That's the turboencabulator?
Turboencabulator.
Turboencabulator.
Every day's a school day.
I'm head of operations, not chief engineer, okay? I don't need to know that.
Hey, nobody be screwing around up here. You both jump as a stern voice sparks at you from below. Looking down, you see through the grating that there's another catwalk situated below the one you're stood on, with a crew member moving at a speed towards the ladder that joins the two catwalks. I swear, if I find so much as a single terminal reader out of place, I'm stuffing the two of you into an organics processing system. If I have to retrieve one more pen from behind the compressors. The crew member continues to grumble as they ascend. I'm keeping the voice. Quinn, you better not be here to tell me that your favorite pen has somehow fallen into the system block again.
No, Chief, I got it right here.
Damn straight you do. Now make sure you hang on to that one or you're gonna need someone to pull you out of the system block instead, you hear me? And who is this fine piece of meat here? A wayward security officer. You got a name there, stud? You quickly throw a sharp salute at the woman in front of you without even checking her rank. Why are you
Why am I giggling?
Yeah, why are you laughing?
Because I like.
Okay. Not only does she loom over you physically, but you quickly pick up on a force of personality that feels like it adds an extra 6 inches to her considerable stature.
Hell yeah.
Lieutenant Chaos Security Officer for the JFS Gundam, ma'am. Less of that ma'am business, Chaos. Name's Mackenzie Cathays, Chief Engineer, but that's chief to you. Yes, Chief. Damn straight. Now, what are the two of you doing in engineering?
Well, you see, I was just giving Lieutenant Chaos a tour of the ship, Chief.
That's so. You've never been on a ship before, Lieutenant? This is your first assignment? Never on a Swift class, Chief. I've only served on strike or supply classes to date. That's so. Which strike vessels? The Victory and the JFS Thunderbolt, Chief. Victory and Thunderbolt, huh? Don't think either of those are less than 3 years old, so probably wouldn't have seen that new streamlined distribution system. I wonder if you would have seen the power coils, though. I think the Victory was part of that production. You and Cassandra exchange a quick, nervous glance as the Chief, who previously seemed like she was about to physically throw both of you out of engineering, suddenly begins a conversation with herself. You continue to stand to a nervous attention as she ruminates about ship components. Chief, is there anything I can help you with about those ships? Oh? Lieutenants, didn't realize you were still here. No, you're off the hook. Not unless you can tell me whether the Victory was outfitted with the 3rd generation B-Pack upgrades anyway. I'm sorry, Chief. I don't think I could. Wonder if that's because the retrofitting takes into account space availability in the ship's interior for minimal traversal impact. Although maybe it could be that it takes.
I think now would be a good time for us to move on.
Yeah, good idea.
Well, that's all, Chief. We'll just be, going now. Bye.
Oh yeah, sure, just don't let me catch you screwing around here again.
And that's going to be it for this episode, folks. If you have enjoyed, please be sure to subscribe and let us know down in the comments. Until next time, I have been the Chaos Cultist.
And I've been Angela. Bye, everybody.